Nah, I ain't so typical. You buying me a drink, you gotta add what all my ladies want. After that, we all go for a cruise in that Mercedes line. Said we can pop bottles with the top down, hot down, and we got what all these fellas want now. Hot sounds coming out the window when it drops down. Houses filled with queens, and you know that's why they all lock down. Said I just wanna have a good night with my friends. Yeah, I just wanna be alright with my friends. Yeah, and I gotta smile so bright, I can give you what you like. Let's forget about the time. Yeah, said I just wanna have a good night with my friends. Yeah, I just wanna be alright with my friends. Yeah, and I gotta smile so bright, I can give you what you like. Let's forget about the time. Yeah. You ever met a bad chick with her money up? Don't you take advantage of the beauty that's in front of you? Dancing so much, I gotta fix my cutest skirt. And you know we pouring up, cause I'm calling in to work. Don't ask me if I'm ready to leave, oh no, no. I must have misplaced my car keys, yeah. Cause I got on the cutest shoes, so please don't make me choose. I don't want this night to end, I'm with my friends, yeah. I just wanna have a good night with my friends, yeah. I just wanna be alright with my friends, yeah. And I gotta smile so bright, I can give you what you like. Let's forget about the time, yeah. I just wanna have a good night with my friends, yeah. I just wanna be alright with my friends, yeah. And I gotta smile so bright, I can give you what you like. Let's forget about the time, yeah.
Feeling fast is from higher than Mars. Saying we think you should stay up here and rest with us. Feeling fast is from higher than Mars. Saying we think you should stay up here and rest with us. I got 1,000 things that I could pay, but I think I'll get the cash out. I think I'll run away. Leave 1,000 things that I just couldn't say. Think I'm better off on another world away. I got 1,000 things that I could pay, but I think I'll get the cash out. I think I'll run away. Leave 1,000 things that I just couldn't say. Think I'm better off on another world away. I think the doors are closing. I think I'll leave.
And we are live, episode 100.
Hey yo, 100. This came so much faster than like it just felt like it's. hasn't been almost a year. It's been almost a year. It's been almost a year now that we started the podcast, guys. 100 episodes, damn! All right.
Crazy. Looking at all those pictures that I was telling you about earlier when I was going through the files. You had some crazy cuts, man. You went from looking like a child to being a crazy mad scientist with hairs all over the place. And
we had Michael Sartain.
we have fucking Michael Sartain.
Which
We
was
had a
an
shit
awesome
ton of people
episode,
this
yeah.
year, man.
We've had basically everyone in the family on.
Yeah.
At this point,
Every one of the friends that are super successful, we had him on.
Shit, we had Matt. We had
Ronald.
both Alexes,
Alex.
many times.
Yep, we had Alex.
Ronald many times.
We had Ron. We had
Ozzy.
Professor, we had Felix.
The whole. We had a couple of people from
The
Vitality.
other, both Felixes, Ozzy multiple times. Kieran's been on.
We had
Emily,
Kieran.
Bailey, Justin even came on one day and told us about his farm.
Holy fuck, dude! It's been crazy. We've
And
gone
then
through some shit, fellas.
your boss or the was he your boss? I don't know, or he was one of the managers that worked at Best Buy.
Evan.
Evan.
No, Evan was just a coworker of mine. He worked in the cell phone department with me.
Hey, what's up, Emily? We had Emily on. We had your sister on.
Too, yeah.
Evan was actually supposed to be in today, but Evan had some stuff come up. Hopefully everything is going well, Evan.
Yeah, we had Natalie.
We had Natalie on multiple times in the Discord and in person. We had her
Mm-hmm.
once in person, a couple times in the Discord.
Who are we missing? Your dad was on here. My
dad,
brother
your
was on
brother,
there.
my sister.
We have Fo,
Rodolfo, Kevin. Yeah. Shit.
We had a bunch of people, fellas.
I mean, it's been 100 episodes,
We
bro.
had fucking Navy SEAls.
We had Alejandro
We had
on,
Dyer
yeah.
one time.
We had
Brian
Dyer on.
Dyer and Jason.
Jason.
He's a fighter.
Jason too.
Alejandro.
Alejandro, your boy Alejandro Miggy from the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Who
What
else?
else? I don't think we're missing anybody at this point. I think we've gone down the
We
list.
got
pretty well.
everybody.
Yeah.
Man.
Your
Marvin.
teacher?
Marvin.
Oh
your
yeah,
teacher?
your teacher from Colombia.
My teacher from Colombia, Marvin.
Spanish
What was
teacher,
her name
Marvin.
Valentina.
Valentina. Yeah. It feels like I'm an asshole. What's her name again?
No. It took me a second. I thought
I'd be an asshole if I couldn't remember.
We mentioned her a couple pods ago, and I remember like it took me a second in my brain. It's like his teacher's name.
Yeah.
It eventually came up, but what else? Who else? I feel like we're maybe missing some people.
We're missing probably like one or two, but we went down the list, man.
Yeah, 100.
Thankful that we could have all these people.
You know, we haven't had, and that's a big L on our part and his part, Peruano. We haven't had him yet.
Yeah. Jorge too. Every time I see Jorge, I usually mess with him about it.
Yeah.
He hasn't come on yet.
He hasn't come on.
We still have a bunch of people for this year, you know? We could bring in some new people.
Right.
Yeah. What? Already got pretty much. I talked to Matt, so he'll be coming in, and he's down for as many episodes as he. I told him, as many episodes as you want. I always love the conversation when he's in here. Hopefully, bring his wife in, who's with. Let's just say she's with law enforcement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember he brushed up on that a little bit at first.
So I want to get his wife on here.
That's nice. So we're not gonna fall.
Blanquita, we had her.
Randy too.
Did you mention Jessica's?
Oh, we had Manuel. We
Yeah,
talked about Cuba.
Manuel, yeah.
We talked about Cuba and Jessica.
That's right. We did have Jessica in the.
At the very end, she kind of replaced Kevin halfway through.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, bro, you haven't come on. That's pretty fucked
up.
Yeah,
Peruano, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? We need you here.
It's nice. I was just looking. The rest of the month, we're not gonna fall on any holidays,
which is perfect.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. You still have time to make it by the end of this year. You know what I'm saying?
You're not in the top 100. You've already lost that chance. Unless you can get here within the next hour or so.
Yeah, but so guys, I'd like to propose a toast where we started with. How many people did we start with? I think we started with right away. We started about 70 people, right? Subscribers. We've almost tripled that number in 1 year. I think it's a 250% growth on it.
We're at like 190 right now.
Podcast. Oh, yep, we're close to 190 right now.
Slowly but surely, guys. One day that hopefully that number will make a drastic jump. But until
hopefully
then, we're gonna continue having fun.
Point. Yeah.
Until then, we'll keep having fun.
Yeah, I think once we hit about 10,000, I think it's gonna X very rapidly.
Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not like we can't hold our breath, so just keep going at it until then, right?
Yep.
Until then, cheers, guys.
Hold on.
Cheers, guys. Miggy.
Cheers.
Put your face on there so they believe that you're drinking.
So.
That's good. I can't wait to get to the 1888.
Can you guys think of anything that the podcast has taught you?
Yeah. Actually, I can. I don't know if you want to go first, but I can.
No, go ahead.
If anything, it made me a better conversationalist and a better so if I want to convince you with something, I have to take a different approach to do that, meaning I have to really I can't just be like emotional about it and like get like I have to really calm down and then bring in a different perspective or say it in a different way, which was gonna click most likely.
Okay.
And then another thing probably that
would you say that it's helped you like have to explain things differently so that other people can understand it?
Yeah, it's definitely. I already had that a little bit, but this has made it more like it's put it on steroids. I think you know what I mean. Like it's given me that edge, I guess. And then another thing is, well, I was already doing it before the podcast, but if anything, podcast has made me read more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I can't just come in and say just some random shit. Like I have to come in and say, hey, this is what we have. It's not really my opinion, but this is what we have. Go from there and then separating what's my opinion and what's actually fact. Like clearly stating that.
Gotcha. I feel like the whole thing with the conversation has definitely made me be able to explain things better and clearer and kind of get to the
meat and potatoes.
Yeah, because I used to ramble on. Like if a story was about some specific event, I'd like start out with the beginning of my day, and like say everything that happened kind of thing when it's not really necessary. And also it's helped me to kind of shut up more in reality. Where like because on the podcast you realized that if you don't know too much about it, real quick, you'll run out of what to say.
Well, not only that, also like when someone's talking, you kind of like shut up, or when you're mid sentence and they want to say something, you're not continuing your sentence. You kind of wait
you
to see
bow
what they're
down
gonna
and you let them
say,
go.
and then because that's the listener doesn't want to hear like 10 people talking because it makes a mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's true. It has helped me like not want to speak over people, and it's almost kind of like made me develop this irritation towards when people are like yelling at each other to the point where no one's even hearing each other.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense because nobody's communicating effectively whatsoever.
Yeah,
The thing about me is, even before the podcast, I wasn't really a big fan of that, of just people screaming at each other.
Yeah, no, of course. No one likes to yell.
Nobody gets a point across.
And
It just doesn't work.
And the funny part is, it could be a very controversial topic. It could be something very interesting for someone, but they're like, "Fuck this! I'm not listening to this shit. This is annoying."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, if anything,
Trader, he's not allowed. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. If one day he wants to present himself and come on, we may still allow it. Now that he's made it past the 100 mark, he's in a whole new bucket of people. We'll see how it goes. He got to get like vetted through.
You got to do like the Kill Tony podcast. Pull his name out of a bucket.
That's funny as fuck.
so yeah. So I think we're we did it. I didn't think we were gonna go this far, but we did, and we stayed pretty consistent, with the exception of a couple of days in between with the holidays
Definitely
and whatnot.
had a lot more discipline than I thought we would actually have, to be honest. I
Yeah.
didn't think we were gonna make it past the 30th episode.
Because I think we all kind of do things that we like to do. Like, you like to be moderator, kind of in the shadows, but then mess with cameras and things like that. That's your thing. Eddie and I like to talk. Eddie likes to like learn shit. So I think it just works really well. Yeah, I think it just works really well. Everyone kind of has their own like job, and we don't really cross. Kind of like, I trust you to have the cameras up and going.
No one's really pushing each other too much. Like,
Yeah.
we're all kind of here voluntarily in a sense. Like, no one has had to be on each other's back about anything.
And never there was a time where I say, "Oh, man, I don't want to go to podcast." Like, I'm going to the podcast. Like, what you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I can't say that. I definitely can't say that. There's definitely been days where it's like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I low-key don't want to. I don't even feel like talking. Like, I
Yeah.
just want to chill. But I always feel better afterwards, especially the days I don't want to do it. I always feel better afterwards doing it. Yeah, like, there's definitely been some days where it's kind of like, yeah, the pod doesn't seem like the best thing to do today, but we're still gonna do it.
Yeah. I think it's been a good 100 episodes. So
Many more to come, hopefully. Yeah, it has been about a year now, fellas. Next month we'll make that year mark where we started. It was January what? Or we'll have to look.
It was
and
probably like mid January.
What computer did we record on? Is it on mine?
It was on mine initially.
The very first day?
Mhm.
Yeah, because remember I was bringing over the PC.
Yeah, I remember. I
And
feel like
we're-
I remember I had mine there too at the same time, or another day maybe.
We have about 5 or 4 episodes that were done in completely different location that we never used after that.
Yeah, we just recorded those and we never even posted them. We never did anything with those
Yeah.
episodes.
Maybe guys, if you like and share and we grow, maybe we'll just
Maybe
do a
one
little
day.
Compilation.
compilation of the
The best
quality that we had then. The shit that we're talking about then.
That's crazy to think though. Like, I mean, in less than a year, we have a fucking studio with all this shit.
I mean,
Lights, cameras, new lenses.
Mickey, go ahead and bring up so we started episode 5. Go ahead and bring up like 8 or 7. No, you can go to YouTube and do it. You don't have to track them down in there because they're not gonna be numbered.
Yeah, they are. They're numbered by date. So I can pull back podcast.
See, this is what I'm
I
talking
might have
about.
gone
Like,
through and numbered out actually.
this is what I'm talking
Look
about.
there,
Like,
yeah.
I know Miggy has his shit like so numbered
02,
that I wouldn't even bother like questioning. Like, all right, if he says it's there, that means it's there. You know what I mean?
0216. Oh, these are like the old.
Just go to YouTube.
These
It'll
are
be
like
there.
The oldest ones right here. 12/28/2022.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's still the. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's.
Hold
Because we
on.
started about this time because
I
we.
can't open FLV
That's what I'm saying.
files
Just go to
here.
YouTube and
Yeah,
find
okay.
them there.
So you want to look up the ones that we actually posted?
Yeah, because like I said, we started posting after 5 or 6.
Okay. Videos.
Live, yeah, go live and then
Sheesh, that's a long scroll.
it keeps going.
Episode 5.
10 months ago.
Oh shit, that's Bright.
Oh, we had nephew on there.
Oh my god. There was
Bro, your hair was so short. Holy shit.
Yeah. Damn, my head looks
Look
small.
at that. Your hair was. You look like a baby. He was a baby.
Damn, they were talking hella shit in the chat.
Yeah. Because back then we were talking a lot more about relationships and things, you know. Yeah, but we were talking about relationships and
fuck
stuff
it,
back
Jay,
then.
You got Jay going off.
I'm gonna put one earbud on. I want to hear this. Damn, sounds like shit.
Yeah.
You should have sit at home and play video games. Oh, I remember this, dude. This was so cool looking back at this.
I haven't changed the pose of me sitting down. I sit down the same way. I
go
don't
to
have that
episode-
hat anymore.
That's still comfy.
Go to episode 7.
Episode 7.
Yeah, skip 2 ahead. Damn, you gotta scroll again. At least it's not that many. It's really not that many. What did we do? Episode 7. Oh, this is the day we took the picture for our
That
cover.
is the day, yeah.
Damn, we need a new picture, boys.
Yeah, we need some new
we
pictures.
need
dude.
a new
Yeah.
We
picture.
need some new pictures. I
Oh
agree.
shit!
Yeah, but bro, your
Oh
hair
my
was short back
Goodness, dude. It's like you're looking at yourself like 5 years ago.
then. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And it's only been a year. Oh, we had your dad on this
Yeah.
one. That's crazy.
All right, let's take a little jump. Go to like episode 15. I think by then we were out of here because we only did a few episodes here, and then we went to your house, right?
Yeah, we did a couple of. Well, no, we did it pretty solid. I mean, we
Go
had
like
a couple
15.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. By episode 15, we were.
Yeah, we were at your crib already.
Yeah, the crib doesn't look like
Look
that
at
anymore.
young Eddie with the swagger cut.
Yeah, I low key want to go back to the short hair, man. But if I cut it off, I'm going like it's going off. It's either gonna be like nice and short, like when I was working at Best Buy, or bold.
Kind of like what we went to Colombia with. You had a pretty buzz cut then.
Yeah, it was pretty short. I think when I went to Colombia, I'm not sure, but
It was. I remember because I remember seeing Eddie. I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but he was in front of mobile where the cases were at, and I just went up to him and I was like, I like the cut, G.
Gee, talking about Colombia, you haven't been to Colombia with us yet.
No, I missed out on that trip.
Well, there's always time to fix the issue.
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta go in one of these when Mauricio and Jay make the surprise trips.
I might catch one of the. Trains.
I think you
going
need a
there
new
this
partner,
year.
actually.
Why? Oh, because he's all wifed up at this point? Nah, man, that man is...
You might need a new partner at
They
this
stole
point.
your friend.
I think he's going to Peter Pan his way all the day till the day he dies when he's like 90 million years old. He's going to Peter Pan that shit.
Do you think he's always gonna be a party man?
Yeah, I don't think... You can take him out of the party scene, but he's always going to be like that.
Were we still what?
He's pretty free spirit, I think.
Oh, so we didn't have the mixer yet at this point.
No,
We were still using the
just the Behringer straight.
No, we were using the Rhodes that me and Miguel have.
Oh, okay.
I
But we
think.
already had these Shure mics already.
Yeah, so I had one, Miguel had one, and then I think you bought one right away.
No, I mean these nice ones.
We had these a long time ago, yes.
Yeah.
But not by 15. We were still using the other ones. By 22, it looks like. 21, we had them.
Yeah. Oh, see Felix right there. We're probably talking about jiu-jitsu at this point. He was coming on a lot. Yeah.
Damn, back at Jay's house.
We're probably talking about Adesanya. Or what?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we're talking about that guy where he goes by and then he starts talking like Jamaican with a Jamaican accent, and people are like, "Oh, why are you why are you culturally appropriating? But the guy's like, "Bro, I was born there, I was raised there. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I'm more Jamaican than any of you out here, you know."
I don't know. I really don't remember what the fuck we
Yeah.
were talking about.
Look at Emily, so interested in the conversation. She's
Yeah.
like dozing off.
Just forced to be there.
So
Let's get a little bit into modern events on what's going on with the world, fellas.
So I saw something that I'm not really. I don't know how that's gonna go. So if you go to the Discord, I posted that. So go down. It has to do with Putin. You should see his picture come up. Yeah, that right there. So apparently Putin came around and said that here, you know, if you read the subject line, you know, it says Vladimir Putin.
So Vladimir Putin pinpoints the end of Western banking dominance. BRICS reign begins.
So he basically is saying that since all the sanctions and everything, they were able to persevere. Now I don't know how much they. I don't know if this is more smoke and mirrors. But he's basically saying that they've used blockchain to do international transactions, and that the old SWIFT. So right now, what banks use is what's called SWIFT technology to transfer money between the countries. He's pretty much saying that that's obsolete, and
SWIFT technology is also used to make large quantities, right?
yeah. So if you want to transfer, let's say $25,000, it's done with SWIFT technology.
Okay.
It has to clear, take a couple of days to clear and things like that. But with blockchain technology, is just immediately there, right? So.
Interesting.
So let's say you're in the middle of the night in Russia and you want to transfer money over. You have to go through different time zones, through different SWIFTs, through different zones to get the money to United States, whatever. Right now, with the click of a button and blockchain technology, it's just right there, straight. So I think if he is correct and there's not a lot of smoke and mirrors, he might.
This is probably one of the reasons why he wanted Latin American countries, I mean other countries of course, but Latin American countries started using crypto as their national currency.
Well, so what happened was Ecuador became number one purchaser of Bitcoin, right? They bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and when they did, they're like, oh, it's a gamble, blah, blah, blah. And when Bitcoin was super high, they sold some of it, built a bunch of schools and things like that, and then Bitcoin went down, and everybody's like, oh, Ecuador is stupid, blah blah blah. But now Ecuador again is gaining money because the Bitcoin has been going on in price, right? So I think
it's in the 40s now, right?
Yeah, it's 40s. Yeah,
that's good.
So what Putin is saying, that the dollar is no longer the main currency that everyone trades. Although I do not believe that dollar is still the main currency that everyone trades. However, he wants everybody to switch to the blockchain technology, because simply what it's going to do, it's going to prevent United States having the monopoly on a market and dollar being the it currency where everybody does business with, right? So, and I don't remember, I've mentioned this a couple of times, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, right? So those are the countries within BRICS, right? And what they're doing is they want to be a direct competition to World Bank, right? Because every time countries in duress, World Bank will come in and give them what's called a basket of money, which has different currencies in it, right? And number one, the currency is usually the dollar, right? So this is what's going on with BRICS. Now, so that's so far. I'm not sure how much I want to believe him, but if that's the case, United States has to step up the game. And I can tell you for a fact, big, large institutions in the United States, financial institutions, are switching to blockchain technology as well, creating wallets, and they are dipping their toes into the blockchain itself and cryptocurrency, right? So they're understanding. So if this is happening, and what he's saying is, there are two things: either we want to stay up with the world as far as financial institutions go, or they're like, oh shit, this is like really dangerous for us, we need to develop this, right? Which I think it's both. It's a two-pronged issue, but I think that's what's going on so far. You know what I mean?
An article I was reading earlier was stating that the Russian military was cleared by around 80-something%
in Ukraine.
In the Ukraine war.
Yeah. So again, since the beginning that this war has started, which means absolutely nothing to us, and everybody just kind of got sucked into it. I don't think Russia wanted to take the entire Ukraine. I think Russia wanted to take those healthy lands of Ukraine in that specific, southeastern part of Ukraine, right? If anything, they might end up annexing some of that territory and making that as Russia, right? So I think that was their original goal, and not the rest of the Ukraine.
He also wants to obviously expand on the military and have a lot more people come and be recruited into the army. Do you think people are going to get frustrated and aggravated at that and potentially be the start of the new world war or revolution within Russia?
So people are gonna get frustrated, which people are already frustrated with that, and they don't want to go to war because they don't want to lose their lives. Now, I think what's happening in the world right now, the war, human on human war, is becoming more and more obsolete, right? Because we're sending drones, everything is being controlled within a distance, right? Now, with Tesla coming up with their robot, I'm sure somebody else is, through DARPA or whatever, they're developing their own robots, right? Like military-grade robots. And once that hits the main market and the United States deeply invests into that, I think the war game is going to change. Now, I think what happened with Ukraine was the world pretty much got rid of their old stockpiles of weapons and got paid heavily for that, right? So they're kind of getting rid of the old shit so they can make space for the new shit to come in. And I think the world is changing as far as the way war is going to happen.
Do you really think that they're going to use robots though to like fight other robots, or is it just going to be more? I think it's going to be like more air warfare.
Warfare probably in the beginning, because I don't think the robot technology will be there. But I think more than anything, they're going to do an economic war, meaning like they're going to try to put the country down economically.
But what kind of robots are you talking about here? Like something that's like a human?
Humanoid type robots, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen
I feel like they're still just going to use, like if someone were trying to develop that and use that as their as their force, they could still just bomb that.
Have you guys seen the video of the AI testing the Cybertruck?
Oh my god.
Which is fictional, but Elon commented that he wants to make it happen.
Yeah. I haven't seen.
I don't want to play this in stream because
those are Tesla robots, right?
Correct, but this is in a augmented reality space.
Okay.
But that's kind of what.
So I think before the robots even get there, what they're gonna do, because with the self-driving technology of Mercedes, of Tesla, and all of these other ones, right? I think what's gonna happen, they're probably gonna make self-driving tanks, self-driving rocket launcher vehicles that launch the rockets. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be first, and then eventually they'll go into that robot type of warfare when it's needed, right? So
we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. I mean, definitely the world is expanding, but
it's gonna be a crazy world when you walk out and you got fucking robots invading you.
Well, yeah,
it's gonna look as crazy to us as like older civilizations when another army came in with completely different new technologies. Like when the Indians first saw Americans pull up with muskets.
Yes,
they were probably like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so because if you look at it throughout the history, anytime there was some sort of a genocide that happened, when I say genocide, I use that word very liberally. Like, well, this definitely was a genocide on Native Indians, right? And the reason they were able to win against them because they were shooting bows and arrows, and these had muskets. But if you go back to European wars and things like that, the minute they introduced bows and arrows and introduced so they went from Bronze Age to Steel Age, right? And then whoever had the steel technology was literally stomping over everyone. And then they came with the long range weapons, which was the bows and arrows. And whoever had the bows and arrows was stomping over everyone else, right? So there's always that one technological advancement that kind of like happens, and that side wins a lot, and then everybody kind of gets it, and then it just kind of gets this like a flat line and then somebody else comes up with new technology.
That's kind of also what Russia's kind of Ukraine's waiting for Russia. So they're trying to hopefully get a little bit better of technology edge on Russia so they can kind of either take back their land or push them back.
Well, I think they've already done pretty well, recruiting all these younger
off, but then again requesting another 60 billion.
Yeah.
Was it 60 billion or 100 billion? No, it's 60 billion. But they've already received 100 billion, which I agree with what one of the senators had said. It's like, what can another 60 billion do that 100 billion hasn't done already?
So a lot of that 100 billion, I don't think that 100 billion went to Ukraine. That 100 billion was to wash money, and it got washed through Ukraine, right? So that 100 billion didn't go to Ukraine. It actually went. You know what? I don't want to do no conspiracy theories here, but it is what it is. The reason they're
Where do
requesting
you think
another,
it went?
it went. I think it went to the elite, whoever you want to call to be the elite.
Okay.
They cleaned the money through Ukraine, and there was literally a wealth shift. It was a money grab, taxpayer money taken by the government and given the big corporations, right? Because Ukraine did get some aid, but then what do you think the $60 billion was for? To buy equipment and buy things. So it went to Ukraine, they took this money and gave it to the private institutions that provided the weaponry and things like that, right? So there was like a legal wealth shifting. So the 60 billion they're requesting, I mean, it's not going to be theirs. Like they'll get a little chunk because they're doing the transaction, they're washing the money per se, so they'll keep some of it for themselves, right? But a majority of it is still again going to go to different corporations and companies.
Did you guys see today there was breaking news? There was a UN Council, United Nations General Assembly.
I saw that they're talking about a ceasefire.
They are overwhelmingly in favor of a resolution calling for the humanitarian ceasefire in the war-torn Gaza, and it passed with 153 countries voting in favor, 23 abstaining, and 10 countries voting against, including Israel and the United States.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. They did the same thing with Ukraine. Is there a ceasefire? No. Like, they're calling for it, but they're still going to do what they want to do, right?
Israel's still in control. I mean, what are you going to do? It's like going to somebody's house and being like, no, this is what's going on.
Well,
yeah, I want you and your wife to stop fighting. Like,
well, no. So I think if you want to put the picture properly, it's like, what happened? War happened, and this land was given to Israel, right? So it's like you have a house, your neighbor comes in, you fight with your neighbor, he wins and says, you know, this house is now this other neighbor's house, right? And then the other neighbor starts living in here, but you constantly throw rocks through the windows of this house, right? And then you kind of like one day you barge inside the house, do all kinds of damage, and the person that already lives in it is like, fuck you, this is my house, I'm just going to go retaliate. And they go back to your little shack and start retaliating. So there's no end to it, right? Like this is not going to subside. It's just not going to happen. Like this war has been going on since the very beginning of Crusaders. This war has been going on. This like ethnic cleansing of religious cleansing has been happening. So I don't think there's an end to it. Until these wars are being financed, there's not going to be an end to it.
It's like,
so
when has the UN being involved has ever like actually stopped the war per se? Because the only time that I see any positive or major how do I explain this? The only time that I've seen any type of change is when a major power like US, Russia, Germany, they step in and help a country, and a lot of the time it doesn't really even help. It just fucks up the place even more.
Yes.
What the heck is the UN Council really gonna do?
UN Council ain't gonna do shit. UN has their own military force, right? That acts as a world police, technically, right? They're the ones there in a hot zone to police the area.
It's never really been deployed per se.
Well, no, they're always there, but then the minute like big conflict happens, then the fucking armies step in because UN is not really designed. They're there to keep and deal with like tiny problems, right? But they themselves are not gonna go in like a head-on collision and go into war, right? Like they're not there for that, right?
Do they work almost as like a CIA, like a secret power?
No, they're there to control the territory or add law, bring in the law, so it's not a wild west. Basically, that's the easiest way I can explain it. What they do, right? Like think of right now. United States went to war with Canada. UN would step in and they would be on a border, guarding the border per se, and making sure that things don't happen. However, there's been a lot of accusations of UN using their power and abusing the people that live within the localities, right? So UN is not a
They're not.
save
I feel
all,
like
do
the
all.
UN is not fit to intervene in major power struggles.
Well,
Because if you look at this right
no,
here,
they're not major power struggles. UN is there. UN was created, I think, after World War One or two.
I believe two.
Yeah. So the reason they were created is like, all right, well, we countries gonna get together into this symposium and say we're all friends and we're not gonna fight each other. That's you being part of UN, you're giving up a territory where they can establish themselves and aid you if necessary, but you also have to be a member of UN, right? So there's that whole thing going on, and Ukraine was going to be pulled into UN, which Putin didn't want, right? So
yeah, a lot of these countries that they've like intervened or they're considered peacekeeping missions, it's like third world countries.
And they were in the DR.
Yeah, so that's what it is. They keep them UN peacekeepers. They're there to keep the peace, but they're not there to fight. That's, I think, the biggest difference, the way I can explain it. They're there to like
they're there
keep the peace in a hot situation.
To minimize crime so that it's not crazy.
That's it. But then they're also been accused of doing the crimes themselves because they have the power.
Yeah.
So
and you can't really trust other humans. They're just other humans.
Yeah. Now, which I think is even more interesting is another article I posted, and it's about Argentina. Now, if y'all guys seen videos of this guy, bro, this guy is crazy. If you go up, he's a libertarian, the new president. Yep. He's a libertarian, and he literally wants to demolish the entire system of Argentina, entire governmental system of Argentina. He wants to cut a bunch of programs off, and he wants to go to dollarization of the country. Basically, what he's saying is, I want to bring in the dollar as the national currency of the country. Yes. So, and he wants to institute what's called a free markets, which means if a big bank fails, well, oopsie, too bad, you failed, right? However,
like free market economy style, just free market.
Yeah, that's it. He's a libertarian. He's like, I believe in the markets. We're spending way too much money governmentally. We're gonna cut all this out, and this is what's gonna be. Now, the one thing I see bad here, let's say if their national bank, the biggest bank, one or two, they fail, he doesn't want to bail them out, right? Like that's the whole idea, not to bail them out. But the problem is, people keep their money in those banks. If these banks fail, that money disappears. So where is that money gonna come from, right? So there's that issue for the country. Now, they want to dollarize the country. I don't know how he's going to do that, what kind of resources they have to do that, to say, okay, well, our economy is worth XYZ dollars, and we're going to start using dollars. Now, I've lived so Lithuania for a bit, before me coming there, was dollarized. So you had to go to the store and buy things for dollars. That's one way when a country ties their economy to the dollar and says that's the national currency now until we figure this out, right? Because dollar is it doesn't fluctuate as much, right? So it has worked for some other countries. However, Lithuania at this point is considered a first world country because they're part of the European Union. Now, they have taken strides to better their country, right? But that's European Union. Now, as far as South America goes, I don't think there is a union of sorts for South America. There are unions, but they're nowhere near.
They help each other out, but it's not something that's like organized.
Yeah, there's still like, I think there's this. I think in Europe, that part, like, oh, we're better than other countries, has pretty much disappeared. They kind of bicker between each other, but you don't see that Germans coming in and, well, we're Germans, we're better than Lithuanians. Or Lithuanians, we're better than...
Germans are allowed to do that anymore.
Well, or even French. They all kind of say that they're better, but I
get two strikes and the third one, you're kind of out.
Yeah, but I see that a lot in South America where they're like, well, we're better. Like Chile will say, we're the best ones. And then Venezuela will say, no, we're the best ones. And the Dominican Republic will say, yeah, we're the best one. And Ecuador will say, no, we're better than everyone else. So there's just too much divide there, right? Even though everyone speaks the same language. So that would be interesting to see if South America will get something like a European Union together.
I have a random ass question.
Yeah.
What would you guys eat for your last meal? If you were like on death row or something like that?
For last meal?
That's a good
So you can have multiple things. You don't have to have a single meal.
Yeah.
Like you can do like, you have sushi and a steak and all these things, but like
I would eat. So before my grandma passed away, okay. It was her 80th birthday, and on her 80th birthday, she cooked herself for everyone, right? And before that happened, she was getting older and she was messing up the recipes. Like she would not put enough salt, she would not put this ingredient or that. That day, literally everything was perfect, perfect. And one of the things she made was stuffed grape leaves.
Okay.
I would eat her grape leaves.
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll get me out of the death row because they don't have those grape leaves anymore. You know what I'm saying?
What would you have, maybe?
I would probably have some. It's all gonna be homemade too. My mom's congri with roasted pork on a stovetop and some plantains. That would be my last meal. That's what I would want. Maybe some Coke on the side, you know?
Yeah, you guys are basic. I need a list. You guys are giving me like a piece of paper so I can write down stuff.
Yeah, Peruano is right. That dollarization worked for Ecuador, and Ecuador kind of like pulled themselves by the bootstraps. Now, what's interesting is going to be to see if Ecuador is going to continue pulling themselves by the bootstraps. A bunch of people are going to go in and start. Corruption is going to take over, and a bunch of people are going to start making money. You know what I mean? That are higher up. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? What was the meal?
Yeah, what's your meal?
Like I said, you would need to give me like a piece of paper and a pen, bro. I got multiple things. I want.
All right, well, listen. Top 3.
Top 3.
Let me guess. Chaufa from that restaurant.
I mean, that could make it in there for sure. Yeah,
So
but no, like if I'm thinking home food, like okay, so Emily's mom's ropa vieja.
Yeah,
with my grandma's.
With congri.
With my grandma's rice and beans. And sancocho.
Yeah.
Sancocho for sure. Chaufa would be a good one.
Yeah.
I love how all of mine have rice. So basic. Fucking beaner.
I mean, that's just the...
I'm just a fucking beaner, man.
That's just the Hispanic diet right there.
Rice is very, very basic. I agree with that. Rice is very, very basic. But if you look at, like, let's take Japan as a culture, right? Because they're known for being perfectionist in everything that they do. And I was watching this show, I think, in one of the episodes, the guy was saying he's been cooking rice for 20 fucking years to get it perfect. 20 years of cooking rice to get it perfect. Now, it's one of those like simple things, very basic things to do, but you can fuck it up just as quickly as you can make it really good, right? And it takes 20 fucking years for somebody to learn how to cook rice properly. So, is it really basic?
I don't think it takes 20 years.
To be consistent, not make it properly, but to be consistent.
But nothing's better than grandma's rice. I don't know.
Because grandma done had 95 years of experience of cooking damn rice. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, she closes her eyes and she goes like this.
You know, so we were,
Ready.
you know, we always ask like, why are my grandma's beans so good? Apparently, she like when she makes meat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
she
the fat.
takes the fat from the dishes and puts them in the beans.
Yeah.
And she'll freeze that shit and like use it
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
oh
bro.
my god, it's gotta
Yeah.
be insanely bad for you.
Now,
but
like,
it's so good.
How do you teach that shit to someone? Like, someone's gonna try to recreate, like, oh, grandma, show me how you do it. They write down the recipe, but like one of the main ingredients of the food like was done like a couple of weeks ago where you were not even there. So how do you recreate that shit? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta literally be there for like solid 6 months and writing everything down and then creating this chart of like, you know, the lines like this is gonna go here, that's gonna go there.
My
This
mom
dish
also-
adds to here.
Yeah.
This dish
My
adds to
mom
there.
also loves cooking with pork fat as well.
Yeah.
Like what they do is they'll buy a pig and then they'll get all the fat, put it in the
Chop it up, right?
I think they put a little bit of water just to give it some base, and then they get all the oil. They drain all the oil and then store it
Yeah.
in the fridge. It kind of just freezes up and just this white solid thing, and then they just scoop it up whenever they want to fry anything. Rice, beans, whatever it is. It adds a really good flavor to it. It's like eating bacon.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
Armenia, what they would do, because in Armenia, butter was very, very inexpensive. Like when they bought butter, it wasn't like you buying butter sticks. Like it was like fucking 2 or 3 pounds of butter, and it came in that one gigantic fucking stick, right? So what they would do, they would put it on a stove at a certain temperature, and they would melt that butter, right? Like so when you melt the butter, like this white foamy shit comes up to the top, and that's the leftover milk product that comes off. They would scoop all that shit away and throw it away, and whatever was left was like pure fat from milk, from organic fucking cows that eat in a field, like just pure fat, and they would just like keep that, and that's called ghee, and they would keep that in fucking jars. And same way, they would just scoop some out, throw it on a pan, and that would become
have you guys, ever had
lubricant.
Have you guys ever had milk straight from the cow?
No, I never had that.
No,
I'm not interested
Yeah?
either.
Solid.
Did you squeeze the tit, or was that at the
Somebody
bottle?
squeezed the tip for me.
But
Were you underneath going?
Yeah?
No, the way they did it was they milked the cow and they put it in a little like metal
Yeah,
cup,
yeah, yeah.
and then it was like really nice and warm, and then you add sugar to it and drink it.
Just drink it up.
Yeah.
So I have
a lot of people tell me
Oof,
it's
I'm
like
good.
a lot of people that I told that to. They tell me it's like, don't you get sick from that or something?
No, you
like
don't.
That? It's like I mean.
No, you
get it.
don't. The only time you can get sick from it if the cow's nipple is sick or infected, because then you will get the bacteria with it. But if the cow's nipple is not, like this is literally like the cow's body is designed to keep it clean.
What do you guys think of those people who like you shouldn't be drinking milk?